65 million years ago, dinosaurs, the most terrifying and dominant creatures to ever roam the Earth, vanished in an instant. But what if I told you that some crazy scientists and de-extinction companies are trying to bring them back to life? Yes, in this video you'll hear many mind-blowing things that you've never heard of before. This is the untold story of the dinosaurs, how they rose to power, ruled for millions of years, and, in ways you may not expect, are still with us today. Well, dinosaurs didn't always dominate the planet. They actually started out pretty small about 230 million years ago, during the late Triassic period. Take Eoraptor for example, one of the earliest known dinosaurs. It was just over a meter tall, lightweight and agile. At the time, Earth's land was one massive supercontinent called Pangaea, meaning dinosaurs could roam across huge areas without oceans blocking their path. What's even crazier about the Triassic is that early dinosaurs were not alone. They shared the planet with giant amphibians, some as big as a car. There were also strange reptiles like pseudosuchians, distant relatives of crocodiles, which nearly outcompeted the dinosaurs. But then massive volcanic eruptions erupted with a fury. As the ground shook and spewed ash and molten rock, the skies darkened, blocking out sunlight for weeks. This was the beginning of the Permian extinction, also known as the Great Dying, a catastrophic mass extinction event that wiped out nearly 90% of marine and 70% of land species. But while many creatures vanished, dinosaurs survived and took over. This extinction event cleared the stage, allowing dinosaurs to dominate the Jurassic period. The Jurassic period, from around 200 to 145 million years ago, was when dinosaurs really started to dominate. Warm temperatures and lush forests provided plenty of food, allowing some species to grow to unbelievable sizes. Brachiosaurus, for example, was one of the tallest creatures to ever walk the Earth, using its long neck to graze on treetops others couldn't reach. It's hard to picture just how big they were, over 40 feet tall, basically the height of a 4-story building. But it wasn't just about size. The Jurassic saw the rise of some truly unique species. Stegosaurus, with its row of bony plates, might look armored, but its brain was about the size of a walnut, and its tail, equipped with shark spikes, could seriously injure predators, like Allosaurus, a fearsome carnivore that hunted in packs. And the skies were ruled by Pterosaurus, flying reptiles that weren't technically dinosaurs, but thrived alongside them. Some, like pterodactyls, had wingspans of up to 10 feet, while later species like Quetzalcoatlus stretched to an unbelievable 40 feet. And beneath the ocean swam the Ichthyosaurus, which resembled modern dolphins but were much larger, some species growing up to 50 feet long. What's especially mind-blowing is the discovery of fossilized dinosaur footprints, some of which show evidence of herding behavior. Yes, even creatures as massive as Diplodocus likely moved in groups. And in the Cretaceous period, dinosaurs were at their peak, both in numbers and diversity. This was the time of the Argentinosaurus, a true titan that could stretch to over 100 feet in length. It was one of the largest creatures ever to roam the Earth. And then there was the infamous Tyrannosaurus rex, whose powerful bite could crush bones. But it wasn't just about size. The Cretaceous gave us the Spinosaurus, a predator that defied expectations. It was larger than the T-Rex and had something no other dinosaur had: the ability to hunt in water. Its sail-like spine and elongated snout made it a specialized swimmer, hunting fish in rivers and swamps, a behavior unheard of in other large dinosaurs. Meanwhile, the landscape itself was transforming. Flowering plants, or angiosperms, were evolving rapidly, reshaping ecosystems. These new plants provided fresh food sources for herbivores like Triceratops, known for its 3-horned face and massive frill. And let's not forget the Velociraptor. Hollywood made it famous, but most people don't realize these creatures were small, only about the size of a turkey and likely covered in feathers. Far from the scaly monsters we imagined, they were quick, agile, and surprisingly bird-like. Dinosaurs weren't just mindless, lumbering giants. Evidence shows that some species were highly social, like Maiasaura, which literally means good mother lizard. This dinosaur cared for its young, returning to the nest to feed them. Fossilized nests show that Maiasaura babies stayed under parental care for months, just like modern birds or mammals. Isn't it fascinating that a creature that lived 80 million years ago had such a nurturing instinct? But Maiasaura wasn't alone in social behavior. Some species lived in herds, moving across landscapes together. Imagine entire herds of Triceratops or Endomontosaurus roaming in groups, possibly for protection or better access to food. But what about communication? Dinosaurs likely talked to each other through a mix of sounds and visual displays. Some species, like Parasaurolophus, had huge hollow crests in their heads. These were probably used to produce loud calls, possibly for mating or to warn of danger. Now, how do we know all of this? Paleontologists don't just rely on bones, they look at dinosaur tracks as well. Footprints can show how fast dinosaurs were moving and whether they traveled in groups. And then there's the surprising part. Coprolites, or fossilized poop. Yes, ancient dino poop. By analyzing it, scientists can figure out what dinosaurs were eating and get a peek into the ecosystems they lived in. It's crazy to think that something like poop can tell us so much about life millions of years ago, but it does. 66 million years ago, dinosaurs ruled the Earth, until suddenly, a 6-mile-wide asteroid slammed into what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, creating the Chicxulub crater. The impact unleashed energy equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs, but that's just the beginning of the nightmare. The initial blast incinerated everything for hundreds of miles. A global firestorm might have ignited forests and vegetation worldwide, burning up much of the Earth's plant life. In minutes, the skies darkened. Debris from the impact was hurled into the atmosphere, creating a blanket of ash and dust that blocked sunlight. Temperatures plummeted. Scientists believe that Earth may have entered a period of darkness lasting months or even years. An apocalyptic winter that wiped out nearly 75% of all life on the planet, including the mighty dinosaurs. What's shocking is that some species actually survived this cataclysm. Crocodiles, birds, and small mammals made it through, largely because of their ability to burrow, hide, or adapt to colder conditions. But for the dinosaurs, especially the larger ones, their fate was sealed. They relied heavily on stable ecosystems, and when their food sources, both plants and prey, died out, so did they. And here's something most people don't know. Volcanic activity, particularly in what is now India, had already been creating problems for the dinosaurs. Massive volcanic eruptions were spewing gases into the air, slowly altering the climate, and even before the asteroid hit, some scientists believe this double whammy of climate change and the asteroid impact was the knockout punch. Not only did the dinosaurs vanish, but so did entire ecosystems. Marine life suffered as well. 2 oceans turned toxic due to acid rain, caused by sulfur from the asteroid mixing with atmospheric water. It was a chain reaction of devastation across land and sea. One of the biggest mysteries is how small birds, essentially mini dinosaurs, survived when so many others didn't. Their ability to eat seeds, which were abundant even after the extinction event, likely gave them a critical edge. That's right, the birds we see today are living reminders of the creatures that once dominated the planet. They're descendants of small feathered theropods, a group that included species like Velociraptor. Now, here's where it gets even more mind-bending. Some researchers believe that dinosaurs could still exist in incredibly remote areas of the world. There's a belief among some cryptozoologists that dinosaurs like Mokili Mumbai, often described by locals in the Congo, could be surviving relics of an ancient world. As for discoveries, we are constantly learning new things about dinosaurs. In recent years, paleontologists have been using technologies like 3D imaging, CT scanning, and isotope analysis to release new details about how dinosaurs lived and died. And discoveries just keep coming. Just in the last decade, more dinosaur species have been uncovered than ever before. Places like Argentina and Mongolia are treasure troves for new fossils, many of which are changing how we think about these ancient creatures. One particularly surprising find was a species of tiny chicken-sized dinosaur named Calindandromeus that not only had feathers, but also scales and patches of fur-like structures. It blurs the lines between what we thought dinosaurs should look like. But could dinosaurs really be brought back to life? It sounds like a wild idea straight from Jurassic Park, but it might be closer than you think. The concept of de-extinction is no longer just sci-fi. Scientists are already making headlines by working on bringing back animals like the woolly mammoth and even the dodo. In fact, researchers at Colossal Bioscience are pushing the boundaries of genetic engineering, using DNA from living relatives of these extinct creatures, like Asian elephants for mammoths. But what about dinosaurs? Well, their DNA is millions of years old and too degraded to clone directly, at least for now. However, some radical scientists are taking a different approach. Instead of trying to extract dinosaur DNA, they're reverse engineering birds. Yes, birds, the living descendants of dinosaurs. They're genetically tweaking them to bring back dinosaur-like traits such as adding tails, teeth, and even claws. I mean, just imagine a chicken with the deadly features of a velociraptor. Crazy, right? This Chickenosaurus concept, developed by paleontologist Jack Horner, isn't just a wild dream. It's an actual scientific experiment in progress. But here's where things get even crazier. What if, instead of a woolly mammoth or a harmless pigeon, some ambitious scientists succeeded in creating something far more dangerous? Could we soon find ourselves living in a world where dinosaur-like creatures once again roam the Earth? So, what do you think? Are we really ready for the consequences of reviving these prehistoric giants? Share your thoughts down in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more mind-blowing content. We'll see you next time on Mr. History.